DreAllDay.com.
Dre Baldwin. This is the daily game. Y'all don't know I do this every single day. This is some game I'm gonna give you for your mind, for your skill, for your spirit, for your emotions, for everything. This is not necessarily game, meaning sports is about the mental game, which is what I'm an expert in. I'm an expert in sports too, but this is about the mental game. If you want to get this as an email every single day, and the 5 1 2 3 4 5 free giveaways that I give away, go to DreAllDay.com/game, GAME, DreAllDay/game, where you can get my free giveaways and make sure you're on the list to get the daily game every day. Today's daily game, I was sitting outside a couple days ago, actually last week. I was sitting outside working and I heard these tires screeching. And I looked up in time because I heard a dude yelling when the tires were screeching. I looked up in time to see this dude get hit by a car off his bike. Now, he didn't get hit badly. It was like the car was going pretty slowly and it was making a turn into a driveway, and the biker wasn't going that fast, but it's just the biker was like, the car was going to stop. The car thought the biker was going to stop, so the car stopped, but it stopped too late and it bumped into the biker. The biker fell off his bike. The bike fell down. The biker falls down, and he immediately jumps up and starts like cussing out the dude who had hit him with the car. Now, the guy driving the car happened to be a valet driver, because he gets out, you know how the valet drivers got the uniform, so he had this white coat on. So he gets out of the white coat, and the guy who got hit off the bike, he gets off the bike and he's just yelling at this dude like, yo, you asshole, what were you doing? He's just yelling all this type of shit, all right? And the valet guy gets out and he calmly just walks over to the front of the car, because, mind you, you're valet, so it's not even his car. It's somebody else's car he's driving. He looks at the car, see if there's any dents or anything, looks at the guy's bike. Then the valet driver is kind of trying to say, hey, I was right, then you were wrong. And the biker saying, no, I was right and you were wrong. So they talked for like 30 seconds. The valet driver never got excited. He's just calmly talking to the dude, but dude's yelling so loud. And I was like 50 feet away, but I could hear this dude because he's yelling so loud about getting hit off his bike, which I would assume, I mean, a lot of people would be pretty excited in a negative way to get hit off their bike by a car. So finally they stop talking. Valet driver gets back in the car. The biker gets on his bike and starts riding. Obviously the bike wasn't that messed up. He wasn't that hurt. And he starts riding. He rides like maybe 50 feet towards where I am. Now he's closer to me. He stops. He's in the street still. This is in a bike lane. And he gets off his bike and he's looking at his bike because he thinks the bike got messed up. And he just starts yelling to nobody in particular at this point. It's like, you ever see the old man yelling at a cloud? So he was like that. He starts yelling about, man, you guys, all you guys who have cars, you're like a gang. You're a gang. You don't care about human life. You don't care about other people on bikes. You have no decency. He's just saying this in general. He wasn't talking to any person in particular. The valet driver in that car is gone. The biker's standing there yelling about nothing to nobody. Then he finally finishes yelling, and then he just rides off and the whole situation is over. Now, the thing about this whole thing, the reason why I'm telling you this story is it really kind of disappointed me, because the biker had several options after he got hit off his bike. Because I ride bikes in Miami all the time, and if I had gotten hit by somebody driving a car and I'm in the bike lane off my bike, I would have reacted completely different than how this dude reacted. He had several options. Number one, he could have got up and just beat the shit out of the valet driver, because dude, you driving a car, just hit me off my bike, I'm fucking you up. If I'm unless I'm physically fucked up and I can't do anything, if I can get up, I'm fucking you up for hitting me off that bike. That's what I would have did. But he didn't do that. That was one option he had. But listen, not everybody's going to do it that way. Maybe the guy driving the car is, I don't know, fucking Mike Tyson, Conor McGregor. You can't beat him up. So maybe if you can't beat him in a fight, what else could he have done? He called the cops. Like, yo, this driver just hit me off my bike. I'm in the bike lane. He's wrong. And he could have called the cops and filed a police report. He could have sued the valet company. He could have took his phone out, because everybody got a phone, take pictures of the accident and the situation, and this is where it was, get the information of some what do they call them, witnesses, people who were around and saw what happened, and get all their information. So then when he takes them to court and sues them, he can win himself a $10,000 settlement, get himself a brand new bike, just because they were in the wrong. And I'm pretty sure that the valet driver was in the wrong, because if you're in a bike lane and you get hit by a car, then the car did something wrong. That's just period, end of story. Anybody who rides a bike in a town that has bike lanes, you know this is usually the biker has the right of way. So he could have did that. What else could he have done? He could have called the cops on the spot, had the cops come file a police report, get all the information. These are all things that he could have done in that situation. He could have went to the valet driver and be like, yo, dude, look, you just hit me off my bike. You know what this is. You know I could call the cops. You know I can sue y'all. You know that I can get you to lose your job, and it costs your company a whole lot of money. So look, let's settle this right now out of court. Look, give me $500 in cash right now, and we'll act like this never happened. He could have did all of that. What did he do though? He started whining, bitching, and complaining like a victim. That's what he was. He became a victim. As soon as he got hit off that bike, he started whining like a victim. It was immediate. As soon as he got up, he started complaining about being a victim. See, this is why if I would have got hit off a bike, I'm not going to get up and start yelling at you, because what's yelling going to do? I'm going to go one of two ways. I'm either going to do it the legal way. I'm going to take pictures of the whole scene and get witnesses and all that, and I'm going to get my money. I'm going to get you in the courtroom, or I'm going to do it the street way, and I'm going to fuck you up for hitting me off my fucking bike because you just endangered my life. Those are one of the options that I would have took. And he has a couple other options. He didn't take any of those. He took the victimhood way. And the way that he started becoming a victim immediately as soon as he got hit off that bike, you know what that tells me? It tells me that that gentleman is probably a victim in many areas of his life, because you don't just become a victim out of nowhere, just some coincidental situation. People become victims early on in life, and then they just find reasons. They find ways to be victims through the rest of their life. Every single day they find a way to be a victim. This dude just happened to find a way to be a victim because he got hit off that bike. Because again, and some of you may be thinking right now, well, look, Dre, anybody get hit off a bike, and you're absolutely right. I could have been me on that bike. But again, what did I tell you I could have done if I had got hit off that bike? What could you do? What could you do if you get in a car accident? What could you do if it's a rainy day and you plan an event outside? What could you do if you did business with somebody and they turn out to be unethical and they try to rob you out of your money? You could be a victim. You could bitch, whine, and complain about it, but do you have to do that? No, you don't. Even when something goes absolutely wrong and is not your fault, you don't have to be a victim. But this dude, I'm 99% sure he is a victim in all of his life. It just so happened that I saw him being a victim that day, even though it wasn't his fault, quote unquote. Now, what I want you to take from this, 3 things. Number 1 thing is victims are always victims. People who are victims in life, it is not just you, it is not just that situation, it's not just this random thing that happened today that made them a victim. They're victims all the time. It just so happens that you know about it now. It just so happens that you saw it today, them being a victim. They're victims all the time. It is not a new thing. Trust me, if they were to be honest with you, they find ways to be victims every single day of their lives. You just happen to cross their paths today. So don't feel bad for a victim, because they always are victims. They draw that energy upon themselves. Number 2. When you are a person who takes initiative, when you're a person who doesn't think in terms of victimhood, when you're a person who lives life on the offensive, that doesn't mean that everything you want to do is going to happen. It doesn't mean that everything you try is going to work, and it doesn't mean that nothing bad can happen to you. But living life on the offensive is a mindset of personal initiative, that you are going to make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. And if you listen to my podcast called Work on Your Game, which is every day, you know that I say that every single day when I start the episode. The personal initiative to make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. People who live life on the offensive do not become victims. That's just period, end of story. Even when things go wrong against them, they don't become victims because they do something about it. And number 3, let's just say this happens to you. Some unfortunate situation happens. You get struck by lightning, but you don't die. A car accident. Somebody hits you off your bike. Somebody's just unethical. You get in a situation where somebody's just trying to play you, and they're absolutely wrong and it hurts you in some way. What do you do then? All right, that happened. We know that happened. We know it wasn't your fault. We know it was the other person's responsibility. Now what are you going to do? What's the next thing you're going to do? What are you going to do after that, now that that thing already took place? What decision will you make to either be a victim or go on the offensive and take control of whatever that situation happens to be, even if it's a situation that you didn't want? It's a question I want you to answer for yourself. That's the daily game, everybody. Y'all know my name, Dre All Day, website dreallday.com. Subscribe to the Work on Your Game podcast, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Overcast, anywhere you can get podcasts. We still didn't get on Spotify yet, but we coming. We're up. What else? Daily game. Go to dreallday.com/game so you get that email every single day. Follow me on all the social medias. Y'all know where I'm at, man. Work on your game. dreallday.com. We out here.